So tell us about yourself, Don.
Should we do... Kia ora. That was terrible.
Why?
Kia
What
ora.
was...
Hi. Kia ora.
That was all? Kia ora. Welcome. This is
Cheap.
Whines. And this is a podcast. My name's ZAZI.
My name's Donald, or Don.
And my name's TUVA'A.
And together, we're going to
We
have
are Cheap Whines.
some crazy chats to some young politicians and get
Exactly.
to know more about them.
Yeah.
That's right. And on this episode, we've got Mr. Tom Rutherford from the National Party.
Yep.
Has come in to speak with us. The youngest member of the National Party, in fact.
And he's going to tell us how we can get rich.
Are we
He's
getting
been
an
saving
exclusive?
it for us.
Yeah.
So who are we?
My name's ZAZI, and I'm 24 years old. My pronouns are she, her, and I work in radio.
My name's TUVA'A, and I am a part-time athlete, part-time radio personality, and part-time electronics engineer. But today I'm speaking to politicians, so that would be great.
My name's Donald. I trained to do doctoring medicine stuff, and then I ran away for a year to do the starving artist life, which of course includes starting your own podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's us.
And we're so excited.
It'll be so good.
Yeah.
It'll be so good.
It's
This
never
is what
been
people
done.
want.
Follow my Instagram, The Truth. Wait.
Follow us on all the social medias, by the way.
Including True Social.
Yeah.
We are on True Social. We're not on X. We're protesting.
Elon.
We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube.
Facebook? No.
I've seen the social network. I know
Yeah.
what that guy's like.
Dick.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. Episode 1. This is Mr. Tom, isn't it?
Yeah, Tom's
Tom?
fine. Yeah. Nice to be with you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for
Thank
having
you very
me.
much for coming and being our first guest.
Thank you.
We've got some non-alcoholics because we understand you don't
Oh,
drink.
mate, look at
A
this.
Sawmill beer.
Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
yeah. I should have, the polite thing would be
Oh,
to open
thank
it
you
for
very
you.
much. Thanks for accommodating me.
Yeah, yeah. And
That's all
TUVA'A,
right.
do you want
Oh,
to...
yeah, I'll fill me up.
We had to do the obligatory Cheap Whines.
Well, you got to live up to your
Yeah.
name, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll have a
I'd
bit
be
of wine.
disappointed otherwise. Is it a cheap wine?
Well,
Like, are we talking like $8, $10?
There was an $8 one there, but it had no label. It didn't look visually interesting. So we ended up splashing out on an $18 wine that
Oh, wow.
looks like it. It gives that sort of...
Yeah.
Looks
It's
like
got
a cheap
slight more
summer.
elegance to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you break it down at $6 each per,
Yeah,
if you
it's
each
not bad.
contributed to the bottle,
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
it's still a cheap wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cheap for us.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
individually, yeah.
Yeah. Of
Oh,
course.
cheers.
Hey,
Cheers.
cheers,
everyone.
you guys.
Thanks
Yeah.
for
having
coming
me.
in.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You too.
Beautiful. So Tom,
Here we go.
I wanted to start by getting you to just do an elevator pitch.
Yep.
Who is Tom Rutherford?
Yep.
Why is Tom Rutherford?
Okay, look at you guys.
Do whatever you
Yeah.
like. You can
Yeah.
look in there.
Yeah,
you
which
can
one?
look at us.
Yeah. 3 options.
So I'm Tom Rutherford. I'm 27 years old. I was 26 years old at the election. I'm fortunate enough to be the MP for Bay of Plenty, which wraps around the city. The electorate wraps around the city of Tauranga, has places like Papamoa, part of Mount Maunganui, and then some of our more suburban Tauranga suburbs. I'm a volunteer firefighter
Yeah.
with the Mount Maunganui Fire Station. I've got a beautiful partner, Hannah. We've been together 2 years. I wouldn't have done this without her support. Very lucky to have her. And I'm just in this because, number one, passionate for the Bay of Plenty. Want it to be the best place in New Zealand for people to live. And secondly, I want to make sure our generation and the next generations have the best country to live in. And I want to be part of the team that makes that happen.
Sweet.
Right.
That's my elevator pitch.
That was a solid pitch. You've nailed that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you ever have to practice that in the mirror?
I didn't ever have to practice it in the mirror, but on the campaign trail, you often got, meet the candidate events.
Yeah.
You got, hey, give us 30 seconds of who you are, and you
Yeah.
start to craft a
You
little
hone
bit.
it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
So
we
there
can
was
flesh it out a little
Yes,
bit more
yes.
if you'd like.
the
No, that's it.
intricacies.
We're ending
yeah,
it right
That's
now.
it.
Thank
Right, I
you.
can go home.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
That was a cheap wine.
Cheap one.
Yeah.
No, well, we were just talking about you before you. Sorry.
Yeah, well, no, that's good
Before you
preparation.
came in.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about how wild it is that you're a volunteer firefighter.
Yes.
Has that been, you know, have you got yourself into some sticky situations?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I've done that for 3 years. I was a volunteer. So I've had to give up my firefighting becoming an MP,
Yeah,
but I
that's
had
fair.
done it for 3 years.
Yeah.
It was definitely out of my comfort zone, but it was something I wanted to give a go. I really enjoyed it, and it was my way of giving back to my local community. Definitely seen a lot of things you don't wish for a lot of people to see. Definitely I've experienced death. Done everything you can to keep someone alive, for example. We don't just go to fires. You know, we go to car accidents. You ring 111 for someone that's choking or having a heart attack. You're probably going to get a fire truck get there before St. John get there. So we go to a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
The other thing that really blows me away is in New Zealand, we've got 1,800 career firefighters. So 1,800 people paid to be a firefighter, 12,000 volunteers.
Whoa.
So 86% of firefighters in New Zealand are volunteers, and I don't know if many people in New Zealand know that.
So how did you go from firefighting to politics?
Yeah, I've always had an interest in politics. I was fortunate enough to be a youth MP when I was at school.
Yeah.
And if people don't know about that, each MP in Parliament every 3-year political term gets to pick a member of their community to be their youth MP to represent them. And so I was fortunate to do that. And then I studied political science at university, and I'd done debating at school, and I always thought, I think I could probably get there one day if I work really hard and you know, keep my nose clean and do well. But I never thought the opportunity would come at 26. I always thought it was, you know, something that older people did. You know, people who were adults.
Yeah.
You know, did it at 56 or 66 or 76. But I think we're starting to see a bit of a changing of the tide in New Zealand, and people of different backgrounds and different ages and experiences coming to give it a go.
Do you think, knowing that you wanted to go into politics, you know, talking about keeping your nose clean, do you think that changed how you behaved in your early 20s a little bit, or do you feel like...
Yeah, I know what you're asking.
Yeah, I know what, you know.
Hey, I went to uni.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Yeah.
I did all the stuff students do.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong. But I never crossed that line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say to people, I'm 26 or 27, but I've lived. And that's what people want from their, you know, hopefully from the people representing them.
Was it Vic Uni?
I went to Vic Uni.
nice.
Yeah, good research.
Right. Yeah, look at me go.
Yeah. So I lived in Wellington for 6 years. So I studied for 3 and then worked there for 3 afterwards.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wildest uni story or funniest uni story?
Yeah, okay. First day at uni, you know what everyone's like. You're so excited. You got all these people on your floor. You don't know anybody or whatever. And we went out into town on the first night, and a guy came running across the road. And this is down in Courtenay Place. Guy came running across the road. He was holding his supermarket shopping bags. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I thought, okay, it's a bit bizarre. And then he was an older gentleman being chased by a younger guy. And they ran in front of us, and the older guy got cornered by the younger guy. And so I kind of just like walked over, and the younger guy was harassing the older guy. And so I stepped in, and I turned to the older guy, said, "Are you okay?" Like, and he was quite visibly shaken. Turned to the younger guy, I said, "Oh, you need to back off, like leave the guy alone."
So how old were you at this point?
I was 18. First day at uni. First day at uni.
Wow, and you said, I am gonna.
Yeah. Just,
Not all heroes wear capes.
your words, not mine. I popped myself in there. I said to the younger guy, "You need to like leave him alone." Turned back to check on the older guy. As I turned back to look at the younger guy, King hit me, punched me, knocked me out. That was my first night at university.
Holy shit.
And did you wake up in like an ER hospital from being knocked out?
I woke up. There was St. John's people there.
Yeah.
But the people who'd actually come, I had some friends there who'd, you know, supported as well. But the people who actually came to my rescue were the bouncers from the strip club across the road,
of course.
who had seen it take place. They came
Love
over.
that.
Thank you, mermaids.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. How do
down
you
there.
know? I just said strip club.
No. What's Courtenay Place?
Yeah.
And they tackled the guy. The police came. He got arrested. I eventually did restorative justice with him, because I wasn't hurt in the end. You know, been knocked out, but he'd obviously had some challenges in his life, and I wanted to, do what I could to support. And
For sure.
so that was my craziest story. A lot of my friends thought I'd got knocked out on night one because I'd said something or I'd run my mouth and I deserved
Right.
it. Whereas I thought I was doing the right thing and supporting an older guy and
yeah,
helping him out. So
Hey, that's a good story. That's a good,
that was my first night.
Wow. Do you think
Goodness.
that changed, like, because obviously you don't drink now, do you think that changed, like, you know, was it the sort of intoxication that do you think that changed your opinion on alcohol at all or that sort of stuff?
No, I don't think that was that. I definitely wasn't intoxicated. But yeah, I've always just not been a huge drinker.
Yeah.
I've you know had occasions where I've probably drunk too much.
Yeah.
And it's much easier for me now to just say I don't drink full stop
Yeah.
rather than in some occasions I do and then other occasions I don't.
Yeah.
I just make it easier and just say I just don't drink. It's never really been a big part of my DNA. So yeah.
It's fair. And I guess New Zealand does have a very binge culture of drinking.
Yeah, we've got it's our biggest problem in this country by far, right? It's a silent killer.
Yeah.
Alcohol is a drug. And so, yeah, we've got a massive challenge in that space and we've got a lot of work. But I know we're diving into the politics later.
Yeah.
So no crate days for you
No
then?
crate days.
Hey, I can still go.
Yeah. But not the crate.
Yeah,
Hey,
our
it could be
own
a crate of
Crate of
Pepsi
milk.
Max or a crate of milk.
Oh my
crate of
god.
milk.
That would make you a
That
little...
reminds me of the milk challenge. Do you remember that? We used to skull those big milk bottles.
Yes,
I sure do.
yeah.
That
Sure
you could
do.
advertise the New Zealand, dairy economy and how much milk you could.
Boosting the dairy economy.
Do they do it? What do you do if you're a vegan or something? Do they do oat milk or almond milk for
maybe.
the milk
that
challenge?
Milk challenge. I think that the milk challenge...
Long gone?
Long gone.
Long
Alright, I
gone.
need to get out of
You
that.
need to tune back in.
Need to
Lock
get back into
the-
2024.
Yeah. That speaking of, we were wondering how locked in do you think you are to the Gen Z sensibilities? You on TikTok?
I am on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
allowed TikTok on my parliamentary phone though.
yeah.
It's banned.
Yeah.
But I am on TikTok.
Okay.
I am on.
What? Drop the handle.
Yeah. Where can people follow you?
Oh, Tom Rutherford, pretty much on any platform. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok.
And
Don't
what-
have Twitter. Don't have X.
Oh yeah.
I try to steer clear of it.
Yeah. What kind of content are you doing? Like little dances and things like that?
I'm trying to
on there?
be pretty like. Don't go on TikTok if you're just going to give us political stuff, right? Like I'm trying to break a little bit of the walls and stigma down. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not the best, all right? But I'm pretty happy to laugh at myself.
I bet you're getting a few, because I think the TikToks really helped with the win last year.
Yeah.
I bet, there's a few people going, hey, Tom, it's time to make another... It's time to bust out your dance moves again. We need more votes.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think my
Learn
party.
some Fortnite dances.
I think my party know I'm pretty unashamed. Unashamed, and I'll do pretty much anything.
Okay, that's good. The memo comes down from Mr. Luxon.
Yeah.
Get dancing.
The boss says, Tom, we need you to dance.
Yeah.
I'll say when.
Yeah.
And what to.
Yeah.
True. And being the youngest MP in
Yeah.
national, I think it probably all that responsibility probably falls onto you.
Yeah, I'm feeling it on my shoulders.
Yeah, heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy.
I do have the question of what were your thoughts on Christopher Luxon's tongue out video on TikTok?
Tongue out video.
Yeah, maybe that's not the best way to describe it, but he's got his selfie and he's like, does it like a little like nod to the camera and then he just pokes his tongue out. Have you seen
I have
this?
not seen that.
Oh my goodness.
I have not seen that.
I think it might be a little old now, like it was a few weeks ago.
I have a few weeks
no,
ago.
okay. Yeah,
it's
a few weeks
quite
ago.
old.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, it's kind of iconic.
Is it a bit weird?
It's in my opinion, it is a lot to take in.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was?
Because he doesn't dance on TikTok, right? He doesn't do it, and then all of a sudden he just came out one day and said like, "I'm gonna give
He
this."
sings though.
He sings.
Yeah,
He's a
he
big
sings.
country music
Oh,
fan.
is he?
Huge
Yeah.
country music fan.
I got bills to pay. He was singing that
Yeah,
song. I remember.
Yeah, he likes that one.
Yeah,
No, I
that's a good one.
can't say I've seen the video of him with his tongue out.
Cut to the video.
Yeah, cut to the video, which I haven't seen.
I highly suggest if you don't want your self-esteem to be on the floor, do not do the trend where you take a photo of yourself and TikTok chooses the sound.
So I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll go home and do my research.
I think you should see it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think,
You can film your own one, being like, "This is a add-on to Chris."
Yeah.
David Chris's one.
Up your game.
Yeah.
It could be, you could make it a sort of party meme. Everyone does a little
That's
tongue
true.
video.
Yeah.
Because maybe it to me reminded me of like, remember the dog emoji? Yeah. Thank you.
He didn't do it to the camera though.
God.
The camera didn't see it.
No, that's fine. We don't need to see that.
That was so funny.
Okay, dancing to
Yep.
music. What are you jamming?
If you were to talk to my partner, she would say I am like the most basic pop music person you have
Love.
ever met. So
Nicki
like
Minaj.
anything anything you'd hear on like
Yeah.
ZM
Oh,
or
yeah.
The Edge.
You're on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like big music fan. I love Drax Project.
Oh,
I've
yes,
seen them
yes.
4 or 5 times. My partner and I saw them in Waihi Beach of all places at the
yeah.
end of
Maybe.
December. I think
Maybe.
one of the guys in the band comes from Waihi Beach.
Oh, wicked.
So cool. They go back to play in small towns. So big
Yep.
Drax Project fan. I went to Jonas Brothers a couple of months ago.
Oh, yes.
But that was for
Yeah.
my partner. That wasn't.
That's
that
not
was-
your secret.
Hey,
Hey.
turning up.
You can admit it. You can admit it.
Yeah,
it's
I
okay.
got it for her for Christmas. It meant a
Nice.
lot for her.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
that's
went,
good.
you know, as the
Yeah.
good emotional support
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything in that sort of vein is me. Anything sort of hardcore rock or anything like that, nah, not
No,
really.
Oh, no,
Can't
no,
do it?
death metal, yeah.
Can't do it.
Nah, death
I
metal,
can't do
no,
that
I
either.
can't do that either. No.
Yeah.
And
Do you gym?
do I gym? Yes, I got
What's your hype song?
What's my hype song?
This is my
You know, you've got to do your
song.
final set. How are you getting
The
through
Rocky
it?
theme.
Oh,
Well, maybe it's
I've got
not
to
a
come onto
song.
the edge of my seat for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an old song, but it's upbeat. I'm so tempted to play it for you guys. But it's what is it called? It's the last song that I always play if I'm on a run.
Yeah.
So if I'm finishing a
Yeah.
run, I know it's just over 2.5 minutes long. I know
That's
that
your final
this
sprint.
is my final song.
Final leg.
It's like you're running a marathon. It's your last part. Can I play it?
Yeah.
Of
Can I
course
play
you
it?
can play it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want you guys to be too disappointed, but it's from
Old
oh,
song.
what was the you're a lifeguard. What was the
Yeah.
lifeguard? Baywatch. It was from
Oh, yeah.
Baywatch, but it's
Yeah.
slightly
Yeah.
different. We'll this God, I'm
Baywatch
hyping
theme.
this up now.
We'll
Do
jam
try
to
your
it.
own slow motion.
What's it called?
I'll be ready.
I'll be ready.
By who? Sunblock. I just realised we probably won't be able to play this.
Yeah, copyright and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Right? Now I'm slightly blushing.
No,
No.
it's good. It feels like kind of a really vulnerable moment when someone scrolls through a playlist of yours.
Or it's like, hey, here's the aux, and then
Oh,
5 minutes,
no.
five
Yeah.
minutes later they come back. Oh, that was terrible.
Or
Can you
they
change the
wouldn't
song?
be that. They wouldn't be that blunt.
No.
They'd say like, "Oh, it's okay.
My
I
turn."
can put my phone on if you want."
Yeah.
No, there was
It's
one
so
time.
strange.
There was
Yeah.
one time Donald was playing music, and I said, "Hey, can you cue this one song?" And that I love. And it played, and I was about to come back into the room because I was hearing it, and I just heard Donald go, "Who put this on?" and skipped it.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't.
And yeah, we didn't talk
look
for
at-
the whole
wow.
4
day.
years. No.
Yeah, until today
It's a
actually.
big
Till
deal.
today,
You two are
yeah.
sitting on the couch.
It
next to
really
each
is.
other.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
appreciate
This is the
that.
first time they've sat together.
Yeah, well,
in a long
it's
time.
great to be here for this
Yeah.
momentous
Yeah.
occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you meet your partner, Hannah? You've been together for sort of a couple of years?
2 years.
2 years.
Met most ways people meet today on
Yeah.
Bumble.
Oh my god, one of our questions literally, instead of what elevator pitch was, what would you put on your Tinder profile?
Oh,
And
yeah.
then we
What
thought
did
maybe
you
that's
get?
What
I
was
can
on
tell
it?
you that.
Yeah. What lured her in?
So
the way to
That was
say
a
it.
strange.
what lured her in?
No.
The personality.
The personality,
Yes,
of
yes.
course.
My bio came from one of my friends, and he said, "Oh, if you want to be real genuine and sincere, which is what I've always tried to be, it was won't message you at 2 a.m."
Oh.
And so
okay.
that was my Bumble bio.
That's quite
Yeah.
good.
And that's genuine because
Yeah.
I'll be sleeping at
You'll
2
be-
a.m.
yeah.
I
Shows
won't
you're
have
respectful.
had if I'd had anything to drink,
Some
it'll be
small sawmill
non-alcoholic.
Yes,
beers.
yes.
Yeah.
And so it was won't message you at 2 a.m.
That's good. Yeah.
That's sensible, yeah.
Or
So
won't
you
hit you
were
up at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, something
Yeah.
along those sorts of
Advertising
lines.
a no drama experience.
Totally. It's been a
Yeah.
couple of years since
A
I've
bit
had
of
it.
banter,
So,
no
yeah.
drama.
yeah.
Bit
So
of
yeah,
banter, no
I met her on Bumble. She
Fantastic.
lived in the Waikato, and I lived in Tauranga, and
Okay.
we just would go
Over the Kaimais.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back and forward, and I'd do a weekend there, and she'd come and spend the next weekend with me, and then, after a few months, she got a job in Tauranga, and I said, "Oh, why don't you just move in with me?" And
Yeah, fantastic.
yeah, the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Beautiful, beautiful. You know, I'm recently on the dating scene.
Yes.
Give me some tips. What do I need to do to?
What are you looking for?
Yeah, who's your...
Oh, wait,
What's the target market
I'm
here?
looking for the love of my life, and I'm not
You're
sure
looking
who
for
it
long-term?
is. Yeah,
Long-term.
I'm looking long term, and I need to lock it down.
Okay.
What do I need? A date? What are your dating tips?
Oh,
Or
your
a tip
first
for a
date.
first date.
Yeah.
first
How do
date.
you make a perfect first date?
Yeah, where would you go?
I need to know.
yeah,
Desperately.
Desperately need to know.
Tell me.
Please tell me.
Please. No, yeah, tell me.
dating tips for your first date, I think, like, don't go to the movies.
Yeah.
That's my first thing. Don't go to the movies. You're going on a date with someone, you want to talk to them and engage with them, right? Rather
Yeah.
than, you're laughing.
I literally, like if someone asks what's the best first date, I say a movie.
No.
Because...
Disagree. I agree.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
on team Tom.
No, but this was a few, but like, because for me it's like, at least if the date's bad, you have something to talk about afterwards.
So you get to see a good movie.
And you see a movie. But
Yeah.
no, that's probably the
Yeah.
more mature
This is-
answer
yeah.
is not a
Keep going
movie.
down
I think first date, like going out for dinner or something like that, like pretty casual.
Yeah,
Don't take them, fine dining, but also don't take them to fast food. Find a nice
Yeah.
sort of balance in
Yeah,
the middle.
yeah, yeah.
And then I reckon, bit of a plot twist here. Open the feedback.
Yeah.
But I reckon if you take them to somewhere like Time Zone, then you've got a really good opportunity for talking
Yeah.
points.
That's
Good way to see if they're very competitive,
Yes.
how they handle winning and losing.
Oh my god, I'm so...
And then also, you can sort of relive your little childhood days as
Yeah.
well.
Yes, get back into the youthful.
Totally.
Wow. Okay, this is actually I'm taking someone to Time Zone. I'm gonna do this,
Time Zone Queen Street.
and then I'm gonna say
Yeah.
thank you, Tom Rutherford.
Yeah, TUVA'A, if you
Well,
get a
we've
message
got to see if it
from
works
Donna.
out or not.
Yeah.
If it doesn't,
Yeah. Then you can blame me. That's
I'm
okay.
calling.
I'll take the fall.
Yeah.
I'll take
Yeah.
yeah. So, Parliament.
Yep.
What's it like?
Oh,
Yeah.
Incredible.
incredible. Yep. It's firstly being an MP is very really humbling, and I wake up most days and go, wow, I can't believe I get to firstly do this for a job. What a great privilege that the local community has elected me to do this. There's only usually 120, 121 MPs. To be one of those people is awesome. Parliament, incredible place. It's this hive of activity all the time.
No pun intended.
Hey, well done. Definitely have gotten lost a few times. It's a big place. There's lots happening. But I also try to spend as little time there as possible. So I go down on a Tuesday morning. I do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays there. Fly home Thursday night. Because actually I want to spend as much time in my local community as I can.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 6 months now and
Yeah.
Starting,
lost that
starting
spark.
to get the hang of it, you know.
I think
Yeah.
I've
Know
got,
where every corridor leads.
I think I've got my head around
have to
it.
do the whole Mr. Speaker thing every time
Yeah.
you say a word.
I'm still getting.
Yeah.
I'm still learning a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm.
I have
Yeah.
a question because I
Yes.
always imagine, it's a divided house. There's
Yep.
political parties. How are you? Do you interact friendly with the
Yeah.
Labour people, the Green people, or do you give them side eyes? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think New Zealand's an incredible country where, on Friday, for example, I played in the parliamentary cricket team, and it's a team made up
okay.
of
Oh my god,
MPs
that sounds amazing.
of any political
Yeah.
party. So
Right.
there were, obviously, I'm in the National Party. There were MPs from the Labour Party, MPs from the Green Party, MPs from the ACT Party,
Yeah.
and we can actually put aside politics and play both cricket together, which is tough enough sport in itself,
Yeah.
but play as a team together.
Whoa.
And I think that says a lot about New Zealand.
Yeah.
So in Parliament, we'll be yelling at people back and forward and rubbish and whatever else, and then literally 2 or 3 minutes later in the corridor, the same MP who I might have been having a back and forward with,
Yeah.
he might hold the door open for me. Do you know, it's
Yeah.
literally that
Yeah.
kind of place where you can't have that American style politics where you just genuinely hate each other.
So it doesn't feel too toxic.
No, I haven't experienced that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I
exactly.
must admit I'm relatively new,
Yeah.
haven't experienced that, but everything I've found from both sides of the political spectrum, people have been very respectful. You do a lot of great work, on select committees as well. So
Kind of force you to work together, right?
you've got to be collaborative.
Yeah.
You can't be, you can't put up roadblocks and
Yeah.
be that kind of person. So yeah.
Who's the MP on the opposite side of the aisle that you respect the most or vibe with the most?
Yeah, the one I've had a bit to do with her because I sit on a select committee with her, she's often in the house the same time I'm in the house, and that's Aotearoa Williams from the Labour Party and from Mayorewa.
Yeah.
She sits on the Transport and Infrastructure Select Committee with me as well. I don't know if I've ever told her that I think she's doing an okay job. So if she's watching this and hearing that for the first time, well, hey, kudos to her.
Remember to
But
tell her next week.
I will. But, you know, just the way you interact with people is really important, because Parliament, like many places, is all about relationships.
Yeah.
That's also like interesting to hear as well, because I guess like a cliche in a few workforces is if you're the youngest, there can maybe be like not all the time, but there can be judgment about like, oh, you're the youngest, you don't know as much as I do, maybe condescending or anything like that. So yeah, interesting that, well, good that it's not, doesn't sound like that's the reception you get.
Yeah, I definitely experienced some of that on the campaign trail. You know, when people saw that, you know, I replaced Todd Muller, he used to be the MP for the Bay of Plenty before me. And when the National Party selected me to be the candidate, a lot of people said, 26 years old, what does he know?
Yeah.
What life experience does he have? All of that sort of thing. Yeah. And I just say to people, hey, give me an opportunity to meet me. Let me look at you in the eyes and you look at me, and let's have an adult conversation. If you come away from it and think, no, I'm still not going to vote for this guy, fair enough. Hey, you've given me a crack. But don't write me off just because I'm 26 years old.
Yeah.
And that should be the case in any place. You're actually valued for what you bring to the team or what you bring to the table, rather than what year you were born.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with it? Like, we often talk about trying to make Parliament as diverse as possible, and diversity is about making sure our Parliament represents New Zealand. So we have the relevant ethnicities represented in there. We've got a good representation of Māori in there, but also diversity is diversity of age, experience, background, and so I'm just there to try and represent part of Gen Z, but also the Bay of Plenty as well.
Apparently, it's important to talk about, so here we go.
Yep.
How much are you earning?
How much am I earning?
It's the question everyone wants to know.
Yeah, I know. Again, MPs pays currently in the media a lot at the moment. So I earn the backbench salary, which is $163,964.
Wow, that's very specific.
I think it's something like that, give or take.
Yeah.
Which is, I can acknowledge that is a lot of money, and that's a lot more money than most people in New Zealand will potentially ever earn. And so I certainly don't take the role I hold for granted. And
Have you got a house?
I do own a house.
Nice,
I just purchased one in
Congratulations.
December.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
First house?
First time. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But had rented up until that point, and
Any like annoying landlords in your time?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely. Oh boy. Definitely. Yeah.
Let's talk about some politics for a second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, because we were talking about this and we thought this sounded pretty bad, but maybe it doesn't, and maybe you can reframe it for us. So this whole interest deductibility thing, so like it's a huge tax cut for landlords, and apparently that means that they could use that money potentially to lower their rents, but you know, what's the guarantee that they would actually do that? Because, you know, there's no reason that they would do that.
Yeah. I think the Minister has been really clear in his messaging, and I really don't want to come on here and give you political spin. You don't want that. He said these changes will just adjust the margins. They're not actually going to solve the crisis we've got in New Zealand at the moment with the rental market. The only way to solve the rental market is by building more homes, creating more supply. Then you've got then you open up and have less demand. That's ultimately what happens. The interest deductibility is returning back to what we used to have before the previous government brought those changes in, and effectively those landlords that operate their properties can deduct the interest as an expense for them when they own those properties, and that's the case for everything else. So all it is doing is returning it to what is everybody else is entitled to.
Right.
But I have seen how the opposition have played it and said 2.6 billion,
2.9, I think.
2.9 for tax cuts for landlords. But I think the devil's in the detail a little bit there.
And what do you say about the sort of back pay that the government is doing to all the tax that they've already paid, and they might return some of
doing it. We had initially. I think the ACT Party had initially campaigned on it being retrospective. But I think when we came out with it, it's not.
It's not
No,
right.
I think we've kind of deduced that our economic situation in New Zealand at the moment is pretty challenging, and we can't afford to do that.
Right.
2.9 sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Like, aren't we strapped for cash? I've heard that a lot. We're strapped for cash. You know, we can't do school lunches for kids because we don't have enough money. We've got to like bring cigarettes back to get money on them, to get tax off them. Do the landlords really need more money?
Let's just remember, this is not 2.9 billion we're repaying to landlords. This is 2.9 billion they're keeping. So they're not paying the money and then getting it back. They're just keeping their own money, and it's the government taking less tax from them.
Is that 2.9 billion that the government will need though for funding more things in sort of this environment?
Different political parties and different governments will have different opinions.
Yeah.
I'm definitely of the opinion that as a taxpayer myself, and as you guys all being taxpayers, I think you know how to spend your own money better than the government does on your behalf.
Yeah.
And so the more of it you can keep, the better. So the less government intervention on things, and the more you're keeping of your own money is better. And so if you were to ask someone on probably the other side of the political spectrum, they might say, oh, the government should have it, and then we can pay for more things and support more things. But there's always a trade-off, definitely.
But surely, because like we're not getting that big of a tax cut compared to the landlords. So like,
Well, you haven't seen the budget yet.
We haven't seen the budget
don't know.
yet.
You
We
don't
don't
know.
know. We don't know. But it's
What
not
will it
looking
be?
promising with the amount of money there is. So like, we know how to spend our money as well as landlords do.
Totally.
Shouldn't we sort of get that same proportional level back if that's the philosophy?
I think you're making a pretty valid argument, and there's always trade-offs that the Minister of Finance has to juggle up between how do I proportion things out, and there's going to be some people who'll be happy on budget day and some people who think it could go further or didn't go far enough. Yes, there is always a trade-off, but at the end of the day, you've got to make ministers and the government has to make decisions on what they think is best for New Zealand, and also we've got to deliver on the things we campaigned on too. And this was one of the things we campaigned on, and we're delivering it.
Fair enough.
I think one of the things I'm really cognizant about is often MPs will turn up and do things like this, turn up and do radio interviews, and we'll just talk at you non-stop. And you'll ask a question and I'll talk about talking points over here that do not even directly answer the question. I'm really trying not to be that MP, because I think the generation we're in is over that kind of stuff. We
see through it.
Totally. I'd much rather be the MP that says, if you ask me a question and I don't know, I'd say I don't know, and I'll find out, rather than spin you some story that just is just complete waffle.
And that's definitely maybe that's where politics is going. We might not see any
Get
more waffling.
Gen Z MPs, and we'll see what happens.
Should we play our game?
Our little game.
Our little game.
All right. I don't know what it is, but
let's do it.
Yeah.
The game is called Did Daddy Do It?
Oh, right.
The shock on Tom's face.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking, of course, about your political daddy, Christopher Luxon, your boss.
Okay.
Yes.
Did he say this, or did someone else say this?
I was wondering where this was going.
Yep. I needed some sort of catchy name.
I got some quote.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
TUVA'A, do you want to hit us up with the
I
first one?
can hit up with a quote.
So it's either Chris Luxon
Or someone else.
Or you have to guess who the someone else is if
Okay.
you don't think it's Chris.
Just point of clarification: is this someone else another political person, or are they just someone completely?
There's someone in prominence.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not like something.
All right.
Zazi
If it's
said.
outrageous, then it's Donald.
It's him.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Something
This is
about
it. This
this
will be a
one.
good one. They kick you when you're down, but they want to kick it when you're up. Who do you think said that one?
I want to kick you when they're down, and then. Oh, I reckon Luxon said that.
You reckon Luxon said that?
Yeah.
That was actually DJ Kahled. Yeah.
DJ Kahled.
DJ Kahled.
Well, like
man of
DJ Kahled.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness! Like
Yeah.
wild things.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
He's got some great quotes.
He's got some great
I can't believe I got that wrong.
He should be a politician.
He should.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is the treaty is our past, present, and future.
Oh, Luxon definitely said that.
Luxon said that. He sure did. Yeah.
Wow.
Do you want to hit?
All right. If there is a mineral, if there is a mining opportunity and it's impeded by a blind frog, goodbye, Freddie.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Here's the thing.
Poor Freddie.
Poor Freddie.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Freddie.
I think Luxon said that, but if Luxon didn't say it,
Yes.
Shane Jones said it.
Yes.
So
So which one?
I'm gonna go Shane Jones.
Yep.
That's
that
okay.
was it. Yep.
Because I was
You
like,
first.
I've definitely heard that in a political context.
Yeah.
But goodbye, Freddie. I don't think that's the Luxon sort of language. Sounds like Shane Jones.
Pretty brutal.
Pretty brutal.
Pretty brutal to Freddie.
Yeah.
It's a lot for Freddie to hear.
It's a lot for Freddie to
Yeah.
hear.
That's tough for Freddie.
Yeah.
Not paying taxes makes me smart.
Oh.
Kind of a. Who would say that?
Not paying taxes makes me smart.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got no idea.
Oh, that was just old mate. Is that one? Old mate.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
Don't want to comment
We're not
on
gonna
American,
stand up very
I'm
long.
staying out
American
of it.
politics. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, I'm one of the greatest producers ever. I'm also one of the greatest DJs ever. I'm also one of the best executives ever.
Oh, do you know what? I reckon Luxon has said that on a TikTok, and he's been told by the creative team, hey, say this.
Yeah.
And he's done some music. I'm
Exactly.
locking in Luxon.
Locking in Luxon, it's DJ Kahled.
Oh, another one.
another
See what I
one.
did there? Another one.
Yeah.
Oh,
you did
that's
it.
terrible.
Yeah.
This one. School lunches are a wasteful public spending.
Luxon said that. Or Seymour might have said it.
You gave it away.
Yeah.
With your gasp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
and I
David
didn't
Seymour.
lock
Damn it,
it in.
Donald.
I didn't lock it in.
He didn't lock
You
it in.
didn't, you're
I'll say
right.
David Seymour.
One point.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another
What do you think
point.
about that?
I think the school lunches program overall is really important for New Zealand to have.
Yeah.
Has there been a lot of waste in it? Yes. Is that what they're trying to do to fix? Yes.
Does
So,
that mean, will the changes mean that fewer kids get food?
I'm not sure. We'll have to see what changes they propose. All they're doing at the moment is talking about it, finding out some information. I think the program does well. It supports the kids who need the support.
Attendance
Yeah.
helps with that.
Attendance.
You concentrate better by being fueled by food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But has there been a lot of waste in it too? Yes, there has.
Right.
And so we're not getting rid of it altogether,
Yeah.
as much as you might hear about. But what we're trying to do is just make it the most efficient and effective system it can be.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, from my medical background,
Yeah.
things like diabetes are one of the biggest problems
Absolutely.
in New Zealand. And, it's one of those programs which really helps by, when you set kids up well in terms of what they eat at a young age, you're going to change their entire lives in terms of their risk of medical diseases, which then, of course, takes all that burden away from our healthcare system, less spending in our healthcare system,
Absolutely.
less wasted taxpayer money there. So there are ways of sort of, making sure that we're investing to reduce wasteful spending.
Absolutely. Early intervention in kids' lives around good habits, eating
Yeah.
habits, spending habits, have huge long-term benefits for the country, without a doubt.
And do you think obviously the smoking
Yeah.
thing might sort of contradict that a little bit, because obviously it leads to health problems later on?
Yeah.
Is that something maybe later on National might sort of do a U-turn on, in the sense that, okay, we've sort of got the tax money that we need, we're going to
We sort of
reverse
don't
that
have
trend?
Winston Peters anymore.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing consistently is smoking trends are coming down,
Yeah.
which is really, really good.
Yeah.
We want to be smoke-free shortly, which means less than 5% of the New Zealand population smoking.
Yeah.
We are still tracking and heading in that direction despite the changes that have been made.
Yeah.
All the changes that have been made are returning us to what we used to do, and the new changes that had been introduced by the previous government hadn't actually been enacted yet.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to see drastic changes across the board. Is it something we in the National Party campaigned on? No. But is that the nature of having a coalition agreement and having coalition partners? Absolutely.
Yeah, dealing with Uncle W, Uncle Win.
Your words, Donald.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, just to clarify, for Māori it will be 2060, I think, by the time they reach the 5% on the current path. So maybe general population by 2025,
Yeah.
but another couple decades.
We've got some real inequities in that system, absolutely, and crystal clear that a one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work for everybody. And so, we're, got Dr. Shane Reti, an actual doctor in the role of Minister of Health, leading that body of work. He's still an active and current GP, and I trust him in his leadership.
Obviously, a recent thing that's happened was sort of the disestablishment of the Māori Health Authority. I guess there's sort of a lot of people our age are sort of wondering, so what is National going to do instead of having the Māori Health Authority there? What other plans do they have to make sure Māori health is still sort of looked after.
Do you know what it is? It's about supporting local community providers in our local communities better. So if we think about it, the Māori Health Authority just replicated Health New Zealand and what they had, and so you would have two bureaucracies working side by side. Yes, one focused specifically on Māori and one focused on the rest of New Zealand, but what we're saying is just have one, cut out as much bureaucracy or red tape or middle management as you possibly can, and actually have less people in the back office and have more frontline nurses, doctors, midwives to actually deliver the best services we can and empower those local organisations too. And we want better outcomes.
Kind of what we were doing already, and that sort of led to where we are in terms of inequities. Like by treating everyone exactly the same, it sort of led to some people sort of being totally missed by the system and sort of falling away at the sides.
Yeah. I don't tend to disagree. We've got major challenges in our health system at the moment, but I don't agree with having a separate health system for people who are Māori and a separate health system for people who are non-Māori.
Makes sense to have some people who are like just there to keep an eye on it though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm trying to get to with the community agencies that we'll have working locally in their communities, who know the people who are hard to reach, who know how we can get those people in and give them the support they need. Think about the vaccinations we need our kids to have at early ages, and making sure they're getting vaccinated and getting all the support and healthcare they need to.
TUVA'A, do you want to hit another quote?
Another
I
quote?
feel like we've got a couple more spicy ones.
Okay,
Don't worry, we're nearly done.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. Let me. All right. There's a
When
list
you laugh
here.
like that, that's very
A
disconcerting.
little bit telling.
Okay, this one will be a hard one, I think. I'm all about peace.
I'm all about peace.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
Amen.
full stop. Full
That's all
stop.
they're about.
I'm going to say Luxon didn't say it.
He didn't say it.
Yeah.
Violent man? No.
No, he just I just can't see him saying I'm all about peace, full stop. There would need to be then like a
Some
comma
kind of
and then something
explanation.
else.
Yeah.
Who said it?
DJ Kahled.
Wow. All right.
A philosopher of our time.
I'm
It's
really...
all about peace.
He's all
So
about
when you
peace.
guys asked me about music earlier, the right answer was
Was DJ
Kahled.
Kahled, exactly.
I'll know for next
Yeah.
time if I ever get invited back.
When it comes to climate change,
Yeah.
delay is the new denial.
I'd say Luxon didn't say it.
Any bets?
Let's go with someone. I'll go two guesses: either James Shaw or Chloe Swarbrick.
Hang on the last one, yeah.
Chloe
yeah.
Swarbrick.
Yes,
Yeah.
Do you agree?
With her quote,
Yeah.
I agree that climate change is a massive challenge we're facing, and we've got to do everything we can to help mitigate it and work through those real areas of challenges we're facing. So, yes, I do agree, but I also it's important about context, and I can't recall the context she was talking about.
Okay.
I put cocoa butter all over my face and my iconic belly and my arms and legs. Why live rough? Live smooth.
DJ Kahled. It's gotta be.
He's figured it out.
Because I know the guy's got a belly.
He does. He
does.
calls it iconic.
He's got it. Yeah.
And he's all about peace, so why wouldn't you want to
Exactly.
live smooth?
Yeah.
You know?
Smooth like
All right,
that.
I'm glad I got that DJ Kahled one.
Yeah.
I
Finally.
think you're winning. I think you got
You've actually
More than
got most
half-
of
more
them,
than
yeah.
half the
Did
point.
Daddy do
Yeah.
it? Daddy didn't do much of,
Daddy
these,
didn't-
of
well-
these smooth living peace things.
No, he didn't.
That was a great game.
Thank you.
Credit, guys. Credit to you guys. Well done. And whoever came up with the title did a superb job.
Yeah.
That might be
Oh, Donald.
Daddy
Yeah.
Don over here. Yeah.
Now, I've heard that you used to play rugby. Is that true? Or you ref rugby?
Yes,
You ref
I've never played rugby, but
Right.
I am still a referee.
You're
Rugby
still a
referee. Yep.
And if there were, because you've obviously said there's a parliamentary cricket team.
Yep, there's a parliamentary rugby team.
Is there
and there's a parliamentary netball team.
Wow.
And a parliamentary football team.
And
Yep.
so I'm imagining, is it tackle rugby?
It's proper rugby.
Wow. And yeah, is there anyone you would like really be keen to tackle if you were to be in the
Look
parliamentary
at
rugby
some of
team?
that pent up, like the week's been long.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, maybe is Mr. Speaker in there? You know, if he gets
Oh.
annoyed.
Jerry.
Jerry.
No,
Is that Mr. Speaker?
Jerry Brownlee.
Jerry, wow.
I,
Love that.
having never played rugby in my life,
Yeah.
would you want to tackle? Would you want the first person you'd want to tackle to be Jerry Brownlee?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, that would be a tough tackle. He's a strong guy, I bet. Yeah.
Mr. Speaker?
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to tackle you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough question. It's almost safer to say I want to tackle one of my own colleagues.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Definitely.
Definitely. You would
Yeah.
probably get in the media for...
Yeah.
You don't want to say... There's lots of people you don't want to tackle.
Yeah. No, I tackle one of my mates, James Meager, the
James
MP
Meager.
for Ringatea.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
He wouldn't
tackle
mind.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go, oh,
Well, it's all game of
Tom
rugby.
being Tom. Yeah.
It's game of rugby,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What happened?
So within the rules.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
high tackles or...
I'm not on the parliamentary rugby team, firstly because I've never played.
Yeah. Right,
I think
of
I'd
course.
get broken. But in their first game next month, I am refereeing it.
Oh, wicked.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
that's really good that I can still go and do it and be
Yeah.
the referee and and be impartial.
Yeah,
I'm
of
there to
course.
referee the game of rugby.
Yeah.
Of course. So, you know, if I don't know, Chris Luxon does a high tackle or anything, you're not going to be like...
I
you're gonna put-
have no favourites
No
on the rugby
favourites,
field
of
Yeah.
or the
course.
hockey
You
field,
would rule
wherever I umpire.
Chris Hipkins over Chris Luxon if there was a dispute?
If the decision was right on the
Yeah.
rugby field, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
what you
there
want
to-
to
That's
hear
the
from a
integrity
ref.
we like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
What
not-
about talkback?
on the rugby field?
Yeah.
Oh,
What did
What
you
if,
say?
what if, you know, you give it to Chris Hipkins and then Chris Luxon goes, ref,
what a rubbish call.
what a rubbish call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd go. Hey.
That's enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's enough.
I'd usually go. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So you're kind
Okay.
of like the speaker of the rugby field.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you can like send people out like
I
you can
have
in
described
Parliament.
the speaker as being the referee,
Yeah.
and the speaker
Yeah.
is the referee, and then on the rugby
No,
field.
but dodgy that the ref is from the party which is in charge.
Ah,
That's a bit dodgy.
yeah,
One of the All Blacks can't be reffing.
yeah, well,
The Rugby World Cup final, you know.
It's, you know, it's Parliament.
It's good to know. It sure is. Tom, so many people voted for you because they wanted cheaper cheese. The cheese is still expensive.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
going on? We want cheap cheese. That's all
Cheese is really
New
good.
Zealanders want.
Let's see what's in the
Grilled
budget,
cheese.
Donald.
Okay,
Let's see what's
okay.
in the
Mac and
budget.
cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No hints? You can't give us any hints about the budget? No?
You're implying I know something about
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
in the
yeah.
budget. That's a big question.
You could go, you know, side up to Nicola.
Yeah.
Get some.
You reckon you should tell me?
I reckon you've got a trusting face.
Yeah,
I think you go
you're
like.
personable.
Yeah, new MP. This is someone I can trust with the top secret budget
secret
information.
I think they're still working on it at the moment. We're only in sort of middle of April.
Yeah.
Budget's not delivered till the end of May. There's still about 6
But
weeks to
you're
go.
saying that there will be something which will help me buy cheese.
You know that we've campaigned on
tax cuts.
on tax
On tax
reduction.
cuts.
Tax reduction.
But
And,
what if the supermarkets
Yeah.
they know that we all got a tax cut and they're like they've got more money. We can raise our cheese prices.
Yeah. Well, that's the same question that we had on the campaign trail. If you remember, on the other side, they campaigned on GST off
GST.
fresh fruit and vegetables.
Yeah.
And we were saying, well, you're supposed to then see a 15% reduction.
Yeah.
What's to stop the extra 15% that you're supposed to see the supermarket just taking as profit?
Yeah.
And that's why that sort of policy doesn't work.
Yeah.
You raise a valid point. Supermarket knows you're getting an extra $50 or $60 each fortnight in your back pocket.
Suddenly cheese is $50, $60.
Totally. Or
Yeah.
you're spending all your money on cheese.
Gouda.
Yeah, that
That would
doesn't
not be Gouda.
excuse the pun, but wow, you're right. Excuse the pun, but that doesn't pass the sniff test,
Yeah.
which New Zealanders are pretty good at.
Yeah.
They can
Okay.
sort of smell
Yeah.
if something's not quite right, if something's
Yeah.
a bit iffy.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that would quickly be quite a big headline.
The headlines are pretty bad for the supermarkets, but they still
Yeah.
keep raising the prices. Is there something the government that you guys could do to like directly address those real cost of living things?
Absolutely, and I think the Commerce Commission are doing some work in and around the supermarket spaces at the moment. It's a duopoly. We've got two major supermarket brands and chains
Yeah.
that operate in New Zealand, control most of the market. So there needs to be some more competition in that space.
I have a
Market,
proposal.
baby.
What's the proposal?
You create a supermarket, Tom's Market.
Yes. Government owned.
With what money?
Chris Luxon's you turn all of his houses into supermarkets across the country.
Yes.
Extra competitor, prices
Yeah.
will drop in seconds.
Come
on, take one for the team.
I'll consider it, Donald. How's that? That's a
Welcome
political
to
answer.
Tom's Cheese Shop.
Tom's
Yeah.
you can expand from cheese onwards.
Okay,
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
steps. Small
Yeah.
steps.
What do you think about like the government making their own non-for-profit supermarket as like a? Do you reckon that would be a potential solution? As a, like to put in a third player to the duopoly?
Yeah,
pretty-
probably not.
Communist.
I was Yes, Donald. I was going to say I'm definitely more of encourage the market to do that sort of thing than encourage government to do it, because otherwise you'll have government stepping in every sort of scenario, right? It's not just...
But maybe they should, Tom.
I think you need to empower business. You need to provide opportunities for more people to come in, take a few risks, absolutely.
That's fair.
Invest a bit of capital, and then if it works out, reward and succeed.
Isn't
with them.
everyone just greedy and selfish? Aren't they just going to always take what they can, as much as they can, and leave everyone else in the dust?
Oh, you guys don't imply. Don't give me the indications you're greedy and selfish. I think you're.
I'm not.
Maybe.
I'm not.
But we don't
doing my
own
cheese on
supermarkets, do
Donald.
we? Some people, maybe if you're greedy and selfish, you're more likely to own a supermarket.
But like, not telling you how to suck eggs, but you don't have to go to the supermarket. There's the local markets that
That's
you
true.
get on Saturdays and Sundays. It used to be like the highlight of when I lived in Wellington, going to the market on the Sunday, getting your fresh fruit and veggies. Often the fresh fruit there is better than what you might get at the supermarket. Supporting your local butcher as well. So don't feel like you're just constrained to the supermarkets if you don't like supermarket.
Earlier this year, there was that big sort of time when everyone was talking about the treaty during Waitangi. Do you love the treaty?
Do I love the treaty? I recognise the treaty as the founding document of New Zealand. I was fortunate to actually go to Waitangi for Waitangi Day. I had never been to Waitangi, and I thought as a new MP, I want to go to experience it, to listen, to understand the emotions that people have. You know, that's a place of real history and heritage for our country. So, yeah, definitely recognising the Treaty of Waitangi as our founding document, without a doubt.
Were some people feeling a little pissed at you guys, or maybe not at you guys, at some of your colleagues?
Oh, without a doubt. What you saw on the TV, there was animosity, there was a lot of passion. Got to remember, politicians work for the New Zealand public. So the day politicians don't front up to things like that, the day they've often lost touch with the people who have elected them. Now, I recognise the government wasn't elected by all of New Zealand. There'll be people who voted for us, and there'll be people who voted for the opposition parties. But it was a really emotionally charged place, but it was also, I didn't feel unsafe. I never felt uncomfortable. And I knew people were going to be passionate and speak up for how they felt about things.
Did you feel proud going there with, you know, the government in the position it was?
I felt proud being there as a New Zealander. I'm always proud of, like I went to a funeral last week, and you know the thing that makes me the most upset at things like funerals are when people perform the haka, right? Because it's emotionally charged. You can feel how people are connected to someone. Was I proud being there? I'm proud to be a national MP in our government. And yeah, I wasn't afraid to front up as well. But I also know most people there didn't come to meet or hear Tom Rutherford. Most people came to meet the Prime Minister or listen to the Prime Minister or tell the Prime Minister how they were feeling.
I've always sort of wondered, because obviously I wouldn't, you know, no disrespect, but you're not at the top of the list.
I'm a backbencher.
You're a backbencher. You're a backbencher. And I've always sort of wondered, do you guys have like a separate morning tea room to them? Like, does the top 20 get like their own, you know, area and they leave all the backbenchers in their own?
Down there.
Is it a special day when they pop in and go?
Yeah, when they pop in.
No, we are one team. We're one team. I'm treated no differently to my more senior colleagues. You know, it's a respect thing as well. They've been there a long time and got good experience and things, but at the same token, my local Bavbini community have elected me to represent them and serve them on behalf of Parliament, and when I need to stand up for something, I'm going to stand up for it. I'm not there to be a pushover. I'm there to, you know, have a bit of a backbone.
Cool. And maybe finally, but what do you see? What do you hope for the future of New Zealand? What are you hopeful for?
I want it to be a place, number one, where people are proud to say across New Zealand, across the world, that I come from New Zealand. Proud to raise their kids in this country. That we've got an education and a healthcare system that supports all New Zealanders. That, you know, people aren't on the backbones, really struggling to get by, but actually we're really prosperous. And that starts by having a strong economy, but it also starts by having people who are really invested in this nation and proud to be New Zealanders. So anything I can do to make people proud to call this place home and to represent our country across the world is something I really want to be a part of.
Make It 16.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, especially earlier, discussing how, it's nice, no one at the Beehive treating you differently because you're younger. It's good to have voices from, all parts, all ages.
Yeah.
Thoughts on
And all taxpayers.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And I've, met a number of people who are, actively campaigning for Make It 16. Personal level, I'm happy with it at 18. 18 in New Zealand is the age of a number of things, and I don't think about changing it for making it 16. So I'm happy to leave it at 18, despite being a Gen Z representative. Yeah.
Despite some 16-year-olds paying tax.
Absolutely, and I can recognise that. And there will always be some sort of inequities in the system.
So how was that? That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
A real living National Party MP
I know, in the blood.
my home. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the flesh, in the blood.
flesh,
Yeah.
First time meeting him,
Yeah.
first impression, firm handshake.
Yes.
He was
Yes.
here. He asked
was.
us what our names were.
Yeah. Yeah. Personable.
Personable.
Very personable, I thought. And he didn't really break party lines on anything he was talking about, but you could sort of see in his eyes maybe at moments where he was maybe kind of disagreeing.
Yeah.
But he, like you say, I think for listeners, I think that there was something interesting about talking to him and actually seeing his expression.
Yeah.
Even though, maybe he's, it was.
Yeah.
And there's some times where I totally disagree with him, But I think that came...
I think he was prepared for that, though.
He was prepared for it, and it came from a difference in general philosophy, I think, on the world, maybe.
Yeah. Trying to solve the same problem, but different,
Through different
ways of doing
mechanisms,
it.
yeah. I guess that's, being raised differently, or just, I don't know how people come up with, different opinions on the same thing. But
Hey, but he actually, you got to give him credit, he helped you with dating.
he did help me with dating.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go to
Time zone.
Don't you dare go to a movie. You should add that to your account now. I won't hit you up at 2 a.m.
I will.
Oh,
Sorry.
You said you're looking for the love of your life.
Yeah.
But what if if it's the love of your life, you want to be able to hit them up 2 p.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 3
Alright.
p.m., 9 a.m.
I'm telling you.
Or maybe that's a bit desperate.
That,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Red flag.
Dan Tom is right. I'm joining the National Party. Just when he was talking about alcohol policy. Obviously, we're having a drink right now.
We are.
But I sort of agreed with him, when he was saying, sometimes alcohol's out of control in our country, or
Binge drinking.
binge drinking.
Yeah, Aotearoa is
And-
pretty.
Yeah, it's funny because his party did not want to support any of the legislation that Chloe Swarbrick put in to try to reduce alcohol harm, like taking
right. Yeah.
advertising
Yeah,
off
that's
sports and
true.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, but again, different ways of solving the same problems, I guess.
That's right. More than 2 ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
As they might say. Anyway.
Well, thanks so
Yeah.
much for doing this, guys. It's been so fun.
I know. First ep done.
Yeah.
Rating out of 10.
I'm a little tipsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was?
You've been sensible. You hit the
Yeah.
one, and you
Yeah.
had a little bit more.
And then that was it?
That was
Yeah,
it.
you you're down
You're down
that,
the one.
and then
Yeah.
you were happy as
That's
well.
what I like to do.
Yeah,
I just,
yeah.
down it and then ride the high.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You can make it last.
Yeah. Okay, ka kite.
Ka kite. Have a good night or day.
I love it when, Don, when you
You start so
silence
strong
could be
and then
fine.